If you could start to take your seats, the results will be with us shortly. Could we please get representatives from all of the bands to the stage? Thank you.
Good evening, folks. Thank you for your kind welcome. And just before we start the formal proceedings today, I stood here this morning and started off with an acknowledgement to two of the stalwarts of the Scottish Brass Band Association's movement. Over the past month, it's been very difficult for us in the organisation, as I know it's been difficult for you as friends and band family of two very great people. Julie Nichols, Saba Treasurer, sadly passed away on the 5th of November, very swiftly and unexpectedly, followed on the 6th of November by Peter Fraser, MBE. And what we would like to do, just an acknowledgement today, is to offer our thanks to them, to show the mark that they've left, to note that the movement will continue and that the movement is a better place because they volunteered, they tirelessly gave their time, they lived and they loved brass bands. I wear my Minnie Mouse ears today because if anyone was at Julie's funeral on Thursday, Disney was very much in her heart. She was a Disney girl through and through, and many of us had our Disney ears on Thursday at her wake. We leave a cheer in legacy of Peter Fraser, MBE, whose contest it is today and who got us to this point. And at this moment in time, I would like you, please, to join us on the stage and to stand where you are and offer a round of applause to Peter and to Julie. Could I ask you to stand, please? And please join in with us to celebrate their life. Thank you, friends. And please, if you have a moment as you leave the hall, there are two books of condolences. There's a book for Peter and a book for Julie, just to leave your thoughts, a message, the name of your band. It will be there on display this evening, but also over our 2 days events next week at the Open and our Youth Championships. We will also leave our condolences books there to offer back to the family some comfort and support, because that's where we find strength, in the support of one another and the supports of those that we love, those that love what we love, which is our music making, and that's what will keep us going as we move forward over the next few days, weeks and months. I would now like to move on to the formal part of this evening and ask our compere, and before I do, can I just offer a huge amount of thanks to Damien, because I do know that Damien has put a power of work into preparing his compere notes, and I'm sure if you sat in the audience today, you'd have thoroughly enjoyed listening to Damien and listening of the context and the band's pieces today. But can I just ask you to welcome, please, our compere for the results ceremony, Damien Martin.
So before we get to the results, please welcome onto the stage our presentation party. Today's event is once again proudly sponsored by Band Supplies, and we're very grateful for the help that we get from them. So before we speak to the adjudicators, just a couple of words from the manager of Band Supplies, Ronnie.
Well, thanks once again to everybody for turning up today to this contest that has become very successful and is on everybody's calendar, and it's very, very good for the movement. It's also very good for band supplies, I might add. So, yeah, I really enjoy coming to Perth and mixing with old friends and new friends, and it's a joy to see so many people here competing. And let's be honest, the weather was quite kind to us this weekend. It hasn't always been in the past, so that was decent. I'd like to thank a few people, obviously, for their help today. Of course, Saba. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them putting in so much hard work. The young ambassadors who have given us a great hand today by looking after lots and lots of things behind the scenes. And I'd like to thank the efforts of the bands that competed in the national finals this year. A very, very successful year for Scottish bands. Arbroath and Carnoustie band, national champions. Very well done. And I'd like to congratulate Whitburn Band for getting a really good result at Albert Hall. That was a really, really fine performance, and yeah, very good indeed. And it would also be remiss of me, being a co-man, to say well done to Cooperation Band for their fine success in Brasson concert last weekend. Well, I'll get off the stage now and let the adjudicators give you their point of view. And once again, thanks for everyone for coming. Thank you.
Now for a few words from our adjudicators, Simon Greswell.
I'd like to thank the organisers for asking me to come all this way, and it's a real pleasure. I can say with certainty that me and Lee are quite jealous of the standard of banding up here. We're not quite at the same level down there, believe it or not. We're quite a way off. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about playing. Hands up who's heard a violin play a straight note? No? Well, if you heard one, you'd think, oh, that sounds terrible. So, why would we play straight notes? Why do we not add colour to notes? And I don't mean old-fashioned warbling vibrato. I mean just a slight oscillation of the sound. You know, we've produced great trumpet players from this movement. Willie Lang, Maurice Murphy, Thomas Fountain, Philip Cobb. And they all play, without exception, and James Watson before him, all played without exception with vibrato. And I want bands to get back used to doing it, because we've heard quite a lot of good cornet players today just playing dead straight, and it feels a little bit colourless. That's just one area. Dynamics. Dynamics is a big issue for me. I've been used to sitting at the back of the band, and to be quite honest, I used to control how loud and how soft that band used to get, because I used to just drop the dynamic right to the floor and make them suffer. The thing is, when you use dynamics correctly, it creates a magical musical picture. It's a painting, but in music, and we've got to be able to use these dynamics. And some bands today really made some big efforts at it, and some didn't. You know, with dynamics, sounds often, if it's too loud, it'll break. The sound will break, and quite a few times we heard sounds bouncing around here. What a wonderful hall this is, by the way. Equally so, when you're playing soft, you've got to keep that airstream moving so that it doesn't stop and you fall off that note. You've got to get used to pushing and pushing that airstream. It's only as good as the fuel you put in a car. It's no good me setting off from here to get to Nottingham tomorrow with a quarter of a tank. I'll run out by Glasgow. And it's the same with air. We've got to get used to pushing and pushing and pushing the air. All we're doing is speeding it up and slowing it down. The other thing I've noticed today, and it's not just up in Scotland, it's everywhere. The amount of bands that play what I call vertical, in other words, I mean, bam, 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 and it's not written like that. There's no accentuation on these notes, and it's bom, bom, bom. It's got to be more, I always think horizontal, so you're getting a line moving across. If it's vertical, it's very disjointed. So I'd like you to think about that. Just one thing, Lee's going to talk a bit about the pieces. When it's an own choice test piece, I think it's reasonable of me and Lee to think that the standard is going to be very good, because your bands people and your MDs have chosen that music. So it's not like an area contest where you thrust a piece and you've got to get on with it. I think you should be able to make a better fist of the piece than you would normally, because you're choosing it to fit your band. And I think that's terribly important for us all to remember. There's just a couple of instances today where I thought there's a bit of, I'd love to conduct that piece about this, but the band couldn't quite execute it. But anyway, I'm going to pass you over to Lee, who's got some nice things to say, Lee. But truly, congratulations on your playing. The standard really is very good, and you should commend yourself for it. So well done, everybody.
Now, did you understand any of that? Because that was absolutely thick Queensbury, wasn't it, Simon? So if anybody wants some translation, that's available if required. We shall put surtitles at the front of the stage. So we've had a fabulous day. Thank you very much for inviting us both. I love coming up here because we get looked after, but we've been looked after musically as well. We've been like kids in a sweet shop. What's next? Oh, that's my favourite. What's next? Oh, it's my favourite. Oh, it's my favourite. So we've had such a fabulous choice of pieces. As Simon has said, most of those did suit the band. A few bands played pieces that were too hard for them. Fine, push your band. Fine, be aspirational. But when the buck stops and you're sat on that stage and you're a little bit nervous, if this piece is right at the edge of your ability, is that useful to you? So that's something to have a little think about, isn't it? I just wrote down a few words that were actually mentioned about the Philip Wilby piece, that brass bands can play music with refinement and good musical taste. And we have had that quite in spades today. Lots of people have played pieces that tell stories. Lots of people have played pieces that have got different styles in them. And some bands have managed that better than others. So if you've got a piece that's got lots of different styles in it, we have to be able to swap styles. Can you think of another group of musicians that have to play in so many different styles? You probably can't. If we play jazz, are we all jazz-trained musicians? Probably not. So it's trying to find the style for each of the sections of the piece. So that's been variable. Some bands have managed to do that, and they've swapped to a jazzy style, or they've swapped to a symphonic style, or they've swapped to a bit of folk music style. So that's quite important, getting the style. So there's a few bands we've written haven't quite got the style. And another quote that caught me was, "Many are surprised that brass bands can play quietly." So that's a quote from Kenneth Downey. Well, some have today. But I'd say one of the biggest things we've been writing is, you can play quieter than this. You can get down for a piano, especially when you're accompanying soloists. these people that are doing their solo lines, you've got to look after them. So we've had some bands play fabulous soloists, and the accompaniments have been a little bit loud. I put in one section, basses, you need to take your boots off. It just sounds as though we need to just be a little bit more patient and give people a little bit of a break. And then the last thing I will say, and I say this a lot when I adjudicate, I dare you to play your quavers and your semi-quavers slightly longer. Not longer, but give them slightly more space. I dare you just to give your quavers and your semi-quavers a little bit more space, because rhythmic pieces, you've got to be thinking about the subdividing. So we've had some bands with some rushing rhythms. Philip Spark and Peter Graham, there's loads of rhythmic playing. At least one of the movements will just be all about rhythmic changes. So there's my last thing I'll say. I dare you, going forward, and this could apply to conductors or whoever, I dare you, play your quavers and your semi-quavers, just give them a little bit more love, give them a little bit more space, spread them out a little bit more, and we love listening to things that are measured. So, good luck. It's been fabulous to listen to 20 very, very good bands from right to different sections, of course, but we have enjoyed it. We've had a fabulous day. Good luck and well done. And we hope you're not going to be throwing things at us in a few minutes. So, thank you.
And so we'll start the awards with the individual awards, and the first of these is the Anthony Hope Memorial Trophy for the best horn section, and this goes to the band that played number 9, Danaskin Dún. And the Paul Dornan Memorial Award for the Best Principal Cornet goes to the Principal Cornet of band number 10, Dice at Colliery. And the 4 bars rest. Oh. Sorry, left one. Yeah. Okay. Dycett's principal cornet as Claire Letham there. And the 4 bars rest award for the best soloist goes to the principal cornet player of band number 20, Keneal. Danny Miller, ladies and gentlemen. And on to the awards for the highest place bands from each section. The highest placed best 4th section band was the band that played number 4, Arbroath and Carnoustie. the award for the highest placed best third section band goes to band number 16, North Lakes Brass. The award for the highest best section, second section band stays in town with Perthshire Brass. And so to the top 4 placed bands overall. In 4th place with 192 points, the band that played number 9, Dunaskin Doon. In 3rd place, with 193 points, the band that played number 3, Dalkeith and Monkton Hall. In 2nd place, with 194 points, the band that played number 19, New Mains and District. And the first place band taking home the Challenge Shield and the award for the best first section band is the band that played number 20, Kinnear.